Okay, stop. I'm going to ask you something and I want you to answer honestly. How many subscriptions do you have right now? Netflix, Spotify, maybe a sports package, maybe an app, maybe something you've forgotten is still being charged to your card. Think for a second. Okay, now think about this. How much did you save last month? Silence, right? This is exactly where we begin. Let me tell you about a man. I know a doctor in Chicago. He earns $380,000 a year, $31,000 a month. Serious money even after taxes. One day over coffee, he said this to me. If I suddenly needed $5,000 this month, I honestly don't know what I'd do. I just froze. I put down my cup. What? I said. I'd have to sell something. Or borrow. $380,000 per year. And desperate for $5,000. Something clicked in my head at that moment. Because this man is not stupid. He is not uneducated. He's at the hospital at 6 in the morning saving lives. But when he comes home in the evening, he is completely trapped financially. And then I started researching. Goldman Sachs published a report last year. 41% of Americans earning between $300,000 and $500,000 live paycheck to paycheck. 40% of those earning over $500,000 say the same thing. Read that again. For out of 10 people making $500,000 a year wake up in the morning worried about getting through this month. And now I'm asking you, does this include you? Most of you are thinking this right now. Not me. I'm careful. Or, I wish I earned that much. I'm on the exact opposite side of this problem. Both are wrong. Because this trap doesn't work based on income. It is also set up for those who earn $15,000. To those who earn $150,000 as well. Only the numbers change. The mechanism is the same. And today I'm going to explain exactly this. How the trap works. Who it catches. Why it goes unnoticed. And most importantly, if you're in it right now, how to get out. Are you ready? Chapter 1. The numbers don't lie. Now I'm going to give you a strange piece of data. According to research conducted among Americans, those earning $100,000 say they live paycheck to paycheck more than those earning $50,000. Wait, you earn more. You experience more stress? Yes. A research firm called Payments found this. 48% of those earning over $100,000 say they live paycheck to paycheck. Over $200,000? 36%. Bank of America used a different definition. It said if you spend 95% of your income on essential expenses, you live paycheck to paycheck. With this definition, 20% of those earning over $150,000 fall into this category. And you're thinking this right now. But how? Where does all that money go? Good question. I'm going to explain now. And maybe it will feel familiar. Let's start like this. There was a time in your life. Maybe university. Maybe the first job. Maybe the first rent. What did you eat for lunch during that period? Something brought from home. Or the cheapest option on the menu. $5. $10. Then you moved to a slightly better job. A little more money came in. And you spent a little more on lunch. $25 makes sense, you earned it. A year later, the $25 place seemed ordinary. It's now $50. 3 years later, $50 feels cheap. And right now you don't even look at the price when choosing a restaurant. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it works like this. Every upgrade makes sense on its own. Every decision is defensible individually. But when they all come together, they swallow your entire income. The Honda becomes a BMW. The adequate apartment turns into a large house with a guest room. A $5 coffee is from Starbucks. And the kids get enrolled in private school. For each one you tell yourself, I'm earning enough anyway, why shouldn't I spend? Technically you're right too, the money is in the account the card goes through. But here's what happens, savings stays flat. Income goes up. Spending goes up. Savings? Hovers around zero. And now we get to the truly sneaky part. Once a luxury becomes a habit, giving it up feels almost impossible. Think about it. You enrolled your child in private school. 2 years passed and financial difficulties began. Are you going to take them out and put them in a public school? You feel a tightening in your chest right now, don't you? No, but the child has an environment they're used to. Friends. Teachers. Okay, what about the car? Are you going to drop the BMW and switch to a Civic? Did you think, what will the neighbors say? You did. We all did. And this is exactly where the trap closes. Even if income falls, spending doesn't fall. Upgrades are one-directional. Going up is easy. Going down hurts. Chapter 2. What do millionaires actually look like? Now I'm going to tell you something very important. Most real millionaires don't look rich. There is a book called The Millionaire Next Door, written by Thomas Stanley. He studied real millionaires for years. What did he find? Most of them live in an average neighborhood, drive an old car, and never display their wealth. Ramsey Solutions 2025 research: 94% of millionaires still live in middle-class neighborhoods. Empowers data: 62% of millionaires' budget. They track discounts. The typical millionaire has never bought a single item of clothing for more than $400. 60% of them live in a home worth less than $500,000. There is Warren Buffett. He still lives in the house he bought for $31,500 in 1958. One of the wealthiest people in the world. Same house. For decades. Now imagine a scene. There are two men. First one drives a BMW. Big house in an expensive neighborhood. Every meal at a restaurant. Kids in private school. People say, wow, that man has made it as they pass by. Second one, a 10-year-old pickup truck. Modest home. Mostly home-cooked meals. But $2 million in his investment account. Which one is actually rich? The second one. But when you see them on the street, which one do you call rich? The first one. And right here is exactly where our brain lies to us. Appearance and reality diverge this much. And most of us shape our own lives by looking at appearances. The book's authors developed a very practical formula. Now you calculate it too. Take your age. Multiply it by your annual gross income. Divide by 10. This is what your net worth should be. If you are 50 years old and earn $250,000 a year, your net worth should be $1.25 million. Now calculate it for yourself. Most high earners fail this test dramatically. They earn a lot. What they save, very little. This alone is an alarm. Chapter 3. How does the mind work? Charles Schwab conducts a large survey every year. In the 2025 when they asked, how much money do you need to be wealthy? Average answer, $2.3 million. And just to feel financially comfortable? $839,000. And do you know what the average net worth of an American household is? $193,000. So people have less than 1/5 of the amount they think they need to feel comfortable. And every year these numbers increase. Last year, $700,000 was enough. This year, $839,000. Next year? This is called the hedonic treadmill. No matter how much you earn, the number that feels like enough always runs ahead of you. You reach $500,000. Oh, if only it were $1 million, you say. You get to $1 million. Real wealth is apparently $2 million, you say. $2 million. And you can never say, okay, that's enough. One of you is thinking this right now. This feels very familiar to me. Yes, because this is how the brain normally works. We get used to it. We want more. We get it. We get used to it. We want more. And this cycle works the same way in spending. How much did you spend on food delivery last month? According to Empower's 2025 data, Americans spend an average of $179 per month on food delivery. $2,148 per year. Just food delivery. Ad streaming. Ride-sharing apps. Premium subscriptions. Coffee chains. Each one small. All together. Very large. And among high earners, this same psychology works with different numbers. Business class instead of economy. 5-star hotel instead of Airbnb. Restaurant every night instead of home cooking. You justify each one to yourself like this. I'm earning enough anyway. But the result? The entire income gets spent. Chapter 4. The Credit Card Reality. Total credit card debt in the U.S. in 2025. $1.277 trillion. The highest figure recorded since 1999. a 66% increase from pandemic-era lows. And where are high earners in this picture? Average credit card balance of households earning over $100,000, $12,760. 36% of these people don't pay off their balance in full every month. Now think about this. Low earners use credit to survive. High earners use credit to maintain their lifestyle. The result is the same. They're paying interest to someone. And the strange thing is this. When a low earner gets squeezed, they know it. Money ran out. I borrowed for necessities. When a high earner gets squeezed, they don't even feel it. I put it on the card. I'll pay it at the end of the month. But at the end of the month, something else comes up. The balance remains. And this becomes chronic. 2025 data, 61% of those with credit card debt have been in that debt for at least a year. Last year, this rate was 53%. Debt stops being temporary. It becomes part of life. Chapter 5. The Fixed Cost Trap, the most dangerous part. Now we're getting to something truly important. Think of a family earning $80,000. They pay $2,000 a month in rent or mortgage. Makes sense. A family earning $300,000. $8,000 a month. This also looks reasonable. Both families are putting a similar percentage of their income toward housing. Both families feel equally squeezed. Bigger numbers. Same feeling. But the real issue is this. It's not just housing. Private school. Vacation home loan. Country club membership. 2 car payments. Each of these makes sense on its own. But together they become fixed costs. And the most dangerous characteristic of fixed costs is this. They can't be easily canceled. Clarify Capital asked 6-figure earners this last year. What have you postponed due to financial pressure? 47%. Their dream vacation. 31%. Home renovation. 26%. Buying a car. 17%. Buying a house. High earners also postpone things. Give things up. Get squeezed. Just with bigger numbers. Chapter 6. Comparison is destroying you. There's one more thing. And this is perhaps the most ruthless part of the trap. Before social media, your comparisons were limited to your neighborhood. You looked at your neighbor. They bought a new car. You started thinking about it too. Now, everyone on Instagram is on vacation. Everyone on TikTok is in a luxury apartment. Everyone on YouTube arrives to talk in their BMW. And Goldman Sachs writes this explicitly in its report on this topic. Pressure to spend at the same level as friends is one of the main reasons high earners live paycheck to paycheck. Now think about this strange dynamic. You're earning in the top 5% of the country, but you're comparing yourself to the top 1%. Or even worse, with people visible on social media who might be even more in debt than you. Being in the top 5% and feeling it's not enough. This is the emotional face of the trap. And this feeling is real. It's not fake. But it is misleading. Chapter 7. The Bitter Truth About the Savings Rate. Bureau of Economic Analysis 2025 data. Americans save $3.60 of every $100 they earn. 3.6%. At the start of the pandemic, this was 33.8%. Why? Because money came in, but there was nowhere to spend it. Restaurants closed. No vacations. Shopping malls empty. And people accidentally discovered what aggressive saving feels like. That money is gone. We're back to 3.6%. Now let's do a calculation. Someone earning $75,000 and saving 4%, $3,000 per year. Someone earning $300,000 and saving 4%, $12,000 per year. 4 times more. Yes, but relative to their income? In the same place. And in retirement, both will fall short. What does the Millionaire Next Door research say about those who actually accumulate wealth? They save at least 15% per year. Saving first. Spending after. Not, I'll save whatever is left. I'll spend whatever is left. The difference between these two sentences? Millions of dollars decades later. Now, let's look at the numbers. Someone earning $300,000 and saving 5%. In 20 years, at 7% average return, approximately $650,000. Someone earning $300,000 and saving 30%. Same period, same return, approximately $4 million. The difference: $3,350,000 in 20 years, just from the savings rate. This is the cost of the trap. When you see it in numbers, it's very clear, isn't it? Chapter 8: The Real Millionaire Journey. 79% of millionaires built their wealth from scratch. No inheritance. Only 31% averaged over $100,000 during their careers. So most of them became wealthy with modest incomes over long years through consistent behavior. 73% of millionaires never carried a credit card balance. They want compound interest to work for them, not against them. And how many years did it take the average millionaire to reach this point? 28 years. At age 49. An ordinary journey. Not dramatic. Not sudden. No big secret. Just doing the right thing consistently for a long time. Now think about this. What has someone lost who earned $300,000 and saved nothing for 15 years? Not just money. The compound returns of those years. The difference between starting at 30 and starting at 45 is astronomical. Because the most valuable thing is time. And time doesn't come back. The real cost of this trap. Not just money wasted. Irretrievable time. Chapter 9: The Way Out. Now, let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for. Is there a solution? There is. But first, this uncomfortable question needs to be asked. What are all these expenses actually for? The doctor in Chicago earns $380,000. He could save $100,000 a year. His income is more than enough for that. But he's not choosing that. Why? Maybe because he genuinely wants the BMW. Maybe because private school truly is the best for his child. Maybe because restaurants genuinely make him happy. Maybe so. But maybe none of these are conscious choices. Maybe all of it comes from the belief that this is what you do at this income level. Make this distinction. If you're spending on things you genuinely value, fine. A conscious choice. If you're spending on autopilot because people do this, that is the trap. What do real wealth accumulators do at this point? They spend on what they genuinely value. They cut ruthlessly on what they don't value. Selective frugality. Not on everything. Money on the right things. And now the most practical part. There is one rule. Simple but powerful. Saving after spending doesn't work. Spending after saving works. If someone earning $400,000 automatically sends $120,000 to investment the moment income arrives, they sustain their life with the remaining $280,000. They still live very well. Just a slightly less visible life. And 20 years later, they're $3.35 million richer than someone with the same income who never saved. Let's look at the numbers one last time. 77%. This many Americans don't feel financially comfortable regardless of what they earn. 40%. This many of those earning $500,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. $1.277 trillion. U.S. credit card debt in 2025. All-time record. And incomes are also at record levels. These two things are happening at the same time. Earning more doesn't solve the problem. Final words. I'm not here to judge you. Truly. Everyone watching this video is at a different point. Different income. Different spending. Different life. But I'm saying this. If you've said this to yourself, if I reach that number, everything will be solved. If every time your salary increased, your savings stayed the same. If every month you've said, this month is done, I'll start next month. You are inside the trap. And recognizing the trap is half of getting out. The solution is not higher income. The solution is intention. How many dollars of what I earn am I actually keeping? Asking this question changes everything. The doctor with the BMW looks rich. The millionaire mechanic with his old pickup doesn't look rich. But which one is truly secure? Which one doesn't wake up in the morning thinking, what's going to happen this month? More money was never the answer. What you do with money was always the answer. And when you understand this, that is when you truly begin. Look at your account right now. How much did you save last month? What percentage? The answer to this question tells you everything.